Okay, I'm back. Completely crashed out of Facebook Live then. It's become very buggy up here, isn't it? So I'm just going to wait a few seconds so that everybody knows that I haven't just gone off and left them. I'm now holding my camera, so it's a little bit shaky. And I'm in the living room, so it's a bit echoey. So if you are there and you want to hop back on board, welcome back. Just as I was about to start giving some tips. 7 of them to be precise, and maybe more. So what I'll do, I'll continue where I left off, and hope that you guys can kind of pick up the thread. So tip 1 around growing the community. Hi Frances, thank you for coming back on. I completely lost connection then. Really annoying when that happens, but hey ho, it's what can you do? So tip 1 is around connecting. So connect properly. Now here's what I mean. One of the things that I've noticed on Instagram, a little bit like Twitter actually, is that people are so hell bent on connecting for the numbers that they'll do this follow back thing. I'll connect with you, but if you don't connect back with me, then I'll unfollow you, or I'll follow you until you've connected with me, and then I won't continue being connected to you. And technical term, but I say that's pants. That needs to stop, because that's not connecting with anybody properly. That's connecting from the ego. I'm sorry about the wobbly camera. I'm wondering if I can put this down anywhere, but I don't think that I can. Let me just bend this a little bit. Sorry, you might see the ceiling as I do that. Let's see. Okay. If I do that, I can rest on the top of my computer and hopefully stop the wobbling. So, Frances, you've got a question, so I will read that out. Regarding your question, yeah, please type it in there, Frances, and I'll happily answer that. No problem. Type your question in the box below and I'll happily answer that. Yeah, go ahead. So connect properly. Don't get into this whole, I'm only going to connect with people, and then once I've got a certain number of numbers, then I won't connect back, because that's not the point of social media. Some people will say that this is a good marketing strategy, but I defy that. What is the point in having millions and thousands of followers who just look at you through the glass, and you've got no connection, no interaction with, and ultimately they don't even want to know anything about you, about what you do or anything else like that? I would rather have 10 juicy connections where I can have great conversation, great debate, share our resources, share all the stuff that we love, but also make a difference to their lives and then make a difference to mine. So connect properly is the first thing that I would say. Now, the second thing that I would say is start now. I hear so many people who say, they either want to write a book, or they want to launch a product or a program, or they're working with a coach or a mentor right now to prepare something for the future. It could be a month's time, it could be 3 months' time, it could be 6 months, a year's time. And they always say, once I've done that bit, then I'll start growing my connection. Now, I happen to have it on very good authority. I've had a few clients now who are authors, published authors, not self-published. And for one of them, as I was working with them, they were being pursued by Hay House. And one of the reasons that they eventually didn't kind of get any further with Hay House was that their numbers were really low. Like any publishing house, like any business, they want massive reach. They want people to be seen and heard. And I guess as a commercial, as a commercial venture, there's no point them, putting somebody's book out there if they're not going to have the intended reach that they wanted. So that's one that I can really speak with authority, Hay House, because I've had a couple of clients who have been Hay House publishers, and Hay House published, and that's not to say that I have attributed to that. They've done that on their own merits. But what I do know for sure is that as a Hay House author, They want to know that you've got a great following, a kind of a bigger following. So if you're planning to get something out there, do something out in the world, start building that community now, but build it from a place of good vibe. Set an intention for the sorts of people that you really want in your community and start to make that happen. Start to reach out and connect with them in the best way you can. And Francelise, I hope, is going to ask her a question about Facebook Live and the best place to do it, unless that is the question, and I'll go ahead and answer that. But Facebook Live is a really great way to engage and interact with your audience, especially if you don't like kind of writing or blogging or something like that. So it's really, really important to start now. I hear too many people say, I'll do it when. You know, it's no secret that I've helped a couple of people go through and do TED Talks. People always put the emphasis about the TED Talk, you know, how will I get the talk done in a certain amount of time? How will I get through the process? And they don't give any thought to afterwards, because they wanted to share this message on this brilliant platform. And the clients that I have helped do that have gone on to create a beautiful TED Talk, a brilliant message, but they don't think about the visibility of that message after the TED Talk. So rather than waiting until you've gone through all of that, build your audience now, build your tribe now. You don't need to tell them that you're doing a TED Talk, because I know that for some people that adds the pressure, but you know, build that audience now, do the stuff that you can now. So in answer to your question, Francelise, which I think is regarding Facebook Live and the best place to do it now, I need a little bit more information. Are you asking, like, from a business perspective, where's the best place to do it? If you are, I would say do it from a couple of different places. Yes, Ivona, lots of people say a similar thing. Facebook Live, a big step for you. Not sure what's holding you back. It's interesting because I have already run 3 Facebook, I don't like to call them Facebook challenges, but people recognise them as that. I've run 3 this year on what I call the 12-day video game. And if you've got any reservations, hesitations about doing video, then that's probably something I'd recommend that you do. I'm looking at doing one towards the end of this month, so look out for that if that's something you're interested in. Quite often when I talk about doing video, people think it just means pure video. Once you can master video, you can do Facebook Lives, you can do kind of like YouTube videos, you can do Facebook Lives for business or for pleasure. You know, you can even go through and do like Snapchat and things like that. So video is like the centerpiece of all things visibility. I don't mean that you have to use it, but it's really helpful to know how to use it. And then once you're comfortable with getting in front of the camera, it's like, what do you share? What content do you create? That's a whole massive subject. And that's something that I cover in the 12 days video game. I changed it to confidence on camera and it didn't work very well. And actually I'm working on something really juicy. For those of you who have already been through and done the 12-day video game, I am working on something really juicy. I can't say too much about it yet, but it's about to go huge. So I hope that it'll help more people to get the confidence they need to get in front of the camera and to use video as part of their, you know, their marketing or part of their business model. So Francelise, coming back to your question, Facebook Live on profile pages or business pages with the new Facebook algorithm. Nothing's changed really. Yes, Facebook, you know, they tinker about with things. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. And I see so many people just throwing out Facebook Lives just because it's the best new thing. As I'd say to anyone, you need to have a plan. You definitely need to have a plan. Business page or profile page is fine, but you need to know why you're doing it. You need to have like an end goal in mind. I always say start with the end in mind. And depending on how you use it, depends on where it gets seen. So for example, I'm doing this Facebook Live in this group. There's what, 200 and something odd people in here. And they're the only people that will see this. Whereas, sorry, I can see lots of comments coming up. Whereas it depends on what you're doing. Are you using it for marketing? Hi, Sarah, thanks for stopping by. Are you using it for marketing? Are you using it to highlight or raise your profile? Are you using it to educate, to motivate, to inspire? Are you using it as a combination of all? I think it's an appropriate time actually just to say that tomorrow in London, I'm hosting a one-day create your own video challenge. Create your own Facebook challenge. And some people have found benefit in using video within that. I've found personally that it really helps with the engagement, but people often don't know which part of their business to put into a challenge. They don't know if it's worthwhile. They don't know whether they should even bother. And all I will say is I wrote a case study for the delegates and participants who are coming along tomorrow, which they should have received in their inbox. And number one case study, I've been doing them since 2012 to today. And is it worthwhile? I talk about the numbers. Would an extra £2,300 work well in your business as a kind of semi-passive income? Would connecting on a real level with at least 30 participants that can still get you that kind of income, would that work for your business? Would it work for your message? Would it raise your profile? To be able to help those people, and then how to engage. Engagement, I think Facebook Live, going back to France Lee's question, is a really integral part of engagement with your audience. And that's why you need to think about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why. So I'm just going to go back and pause and just read some of these questions. So France Lee's, you're saying profile pages or business pages. I would say, forget algorithms, forget what Facebook are doing. People focus too much on the actual platform and what they're doing and how they can best get out there. Are you looking to connect? Are you looking to educate? Are you looking to inspire? First thing. If so, who are you looking to inspire? Second thing. And that's where you go. And the other thing is consistency. I do these Q&A Wednesdays every Wednesday, even though it's a closed audience, because only people in this group can see this. But I do it because then you come to expect that every Wednesday I will be there. Monday Motivations on my Facebook page, people know that I'm there every Monday at 7 a.m, although I will be changing the time of that if it suits people more. But there's a consistency of it. So it's not the fact of, are you doing it on this page or that page, and what do Facebook's algorithms do? It's the why you're doing it, who you're wanting to reach, and the consistency. And I've been pretty consistent with video, whether I've done it on YouTube or Facebook Live, but I've been pretty consistent, and it's that has got me some really juicy results, really lovely communities and gorgeous people. So Ivona says, done videos, getting better, quite enjoy doing them. I'm better at talking and engaging with people in this way. Yeah, I think it's a really easy thing to do, but then I've been doing video literally since I've started my business in 2010. And before that, I was a training manager. I had to train, onto camera and things. In fact, that's where I originally met Sarah Setterfield back in, 2006, perhaps. So, there was part of a course that I was on that Sarah was one of the delegates, and she had to, as part of the team, we were put under duress. We had actors and everything else, and we had to perform, do our work, sell to in front of a camera. So I guess I've been kind of indoctrinated to that. And then when I realised that so many of my clients had what I would call visibility quirks, where they didn't think that they could really get out there, for many of them, so many of them, I found that video was one of the fastest ways for them to really connect and engage their audiences and ultimately be able to sell their products and services. So when you are on camera, when you're on video, you can speak to people. But here's the one thing that I would say. Don't leave it to chance. Do something about it. I see too many business owners or too many people that are aspiring to grow businesses try and work it all out, go onto YouTube and look for lots of free videos, try and stitch together free content to make it happen. And you're doing yourself a disservice. It doesn't have to be me. Go and learn from somebody on how to do things properly. For some of you, you may know, some of you might not know. Part of the visibility vibe system, video does come under that, but it doesn't mean that you have to do video. So especially if you're wanting to get started, I've helped people to create Groupon courses. I've helped people to get out there on video on their YouTube channel, grow their audiences, get Huffington Post, gigs and speaking gigs and things like that. But don't just leave it to chance and just put it out there. You know, go and learn identify the bits that you are afraid of or don't like or want to know how to do, and go and learn. And if any of you are nervous about the video element of it, if you go right back down in the thread to, gosh, it's going back a fair while, I actually did do a Facebook Live on video and kind of how to do that. So that's some things. Priscilla said that she hosted a 30-day video challenge for 30 women, and the women benefited a lot. It shifts in a lot of business owners and gives you clarity. Highly recommend it. Absolutely. Interestingly, when I did the first round of the video challenge, of which some of you watching this may have seen or been on, when I did the first round of it, I think everyone just thought, oh, I'll be able to do video, it'll be really technical. But the leaps and bounds and the things that people fed back were just so, oops, nearly dropped my camera then, were just so amazing and so beneficial in a lot of areas of their life and their confidence. It was amazing. So, yes. Sarah's saying that she's just popped in. She can't stop this morning. She'll watch later. That's fine. Frances, I hope I answered your question. Again, the question that you're asking Frances, I would say is more around the mindset, not around the actual thing. So have a look at that. Have a look at what you may be telling yourself about video, because I know you're great on video. I've watched your videos. I recommend them. I love them. So just kind of have a look at what may be kind of under the surface in terms of posting the videos out there. So some of the other things about kind of growing and starting out there, just posting your stuff online in groups, on Instagram or on Facebook is not connecting with people. Like on Saturday night, I went to a house party, good old fashioned house party held in the house. Can you imagine, like, I didn't know a lot of people in that room. Can you imagine if I'd just run in and gone, hi, Jenny Kovacs, Visibility Vibes, helps you to stand out, be seen, be heard, be noticed, buy my stuff, it's really good, and run out the room again? People would have thought I was a complete, like, nutcase. And so many people think it's okay to do that on Facebook, primarily because they see other people doing it and they think other people are getting good results from it, but that isn't true. So if you are going to post something in like a group or on a page and you haven't quite had the opportunity to interact and get to know people, that's fine, post it, especially if it's time sensitive, but take the time to get to know the people in that community. They might be the people that you want on your stuff, or they might not. Isn't it better to find out sooner rather than later? So, you know, you can still interact with them. You can still reach out to them. You can still answer their questions, ask questions. You can still connect. You can still introduce yourself after the event. You know, you guys have been sharing some really juicy offers in this group, and you've got till the end of the week, you know, and if you have, you know, if you've been really busy and under the cosh and you've already put an offer in, remind people that the offer's still there, but also let them know a bit about you and why the offer that you're offering would benefit them. We often as experts think it's obvious that somebody would want to join in and run something, or you know, like for example, my workshop tomorrow. I could say it's a workshop tomorrow, but that doesn't really say anything. But what I could say, it's a really great way to grow your audience. You know, I grew mine. First time I did it in 2012. I grew my audience by 80 people, which was good enough for me. 80 strong people that were well connected, became big fans, you know, was a pinnacle to starting to really grow my community, and for me to be able to share my message, what I was doing, and to be able to help their visibility. 80 people to me at that time was huge. And then to go on to be able to have raving fans and people that talk about your work, recommend other people to you, is huge, especially if you are starting or are in business, or have even refined or changed what you're doing. That's a reason why people might want to join on a Facebook challenge. And they might say, oh, Jenny, you know, £197 is a lot of money. Well, for you guys as Vibers, I've knocked that in half. You know, we're going to be going into a hotel. We're actually going to be creating your Facebook challenge. And for those of you that want that to be an income stream, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. That will be a compelling reason for someone to go, as opposed to saying, come to my workshop. Here's a link, read all about it. Doesn't really cut it. So hopefully that will be something of help to you. So some other things are, you can go offline to meet more people online, and you can like connect online to meet more people offline. You know, I myself and other clients have had speaking gigs as a result of doing this sort of online stuff anyway. Also, people don't often invest in themselves, and I touched on that a